Hello, pretty people. Welcome to Simply Delish Duo. Today we are making Moz stuffed peppers. You guys, these are so good. You will have to try them. I cannot wait to dig in. So, bon appetit to me. So if you like this recipe and would like to see more, please subscribe to our channel by hitting that red subscribe button below. For our recipe, you will need peppers. I'm using 4 large red peppers that I've cut in half. And the reason why I've cut them in half is we're using this as a side dish. Now, if you're gonna use this as a main, keep it whole and stuff your pepper whole. But because it's a side dish, I'm going to just cut it in half. I've already cut and removed the stems and the insides of the others, just like this one here. And we're using red because I like red peppers. I prefer red over green, but go ahead, use green, use orange, yellow, red, whatever you like. Also, you'll need about 1 pound of lean ground beef. We have some chopped garlic, about 2 cloves, a half a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, a cup of mozzarella, a cup of cooked white rice. I've cooked this a little earlier today and just let it sit a bit. Half of onion, and I'm using a red onion today, but you can use a white onion, that's fine. And also diced tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes. And I've already opened up the can and drained most of the water out. You want to make sure to drain most of the water out because you don't want a watery, wet stuffed pepper. You want it pretty dry inside. And also olive oil because we will be cooking the ground beef, and that will be our next step. Before we fill our stuffed peppers, we need to cook the ground beef. So let's stop here and let's go to the stovetop and begin cooking our ground beef. All right, we're ready to fry up this ground beef. We'll just put a tablespoon or so, not too much because there's already fat in your ground beef. We're using lean, but there's still fat in there. So some olive oil, just so that we can start frying up our onions. So place the onions in. Give it a stir. Now it's still too early to put our ground beef in. We want to wait until the onions are translucent, so that'll take a minute or two. Okay, the onions are ready, so now our next step is to put the ground beef in. And also, we'll just chop this up a bit here. Also our garlic and our salt and pepper. And now what we'll do is just fry this up. We don't want to fry it. I'm going to turn it down to medium. We have it on high. So what I'll do is I'll just fry it up for a few minutes. We want the beef, we don't want it to cook. We want the pink out. So because it'll cook additionally in the oven. So we'll cook it up for a few minutes, and yeah, once it's no longer pink and almost cooked. So once we're at that stage, we'll be back to show you our next step. I've taken the meat off the stove, the ground beef off the stove, and it's not thoroughly cooked. All the pink is gone. So now it's time to throw everything into the bowl. And also, I put it in the bowl and let it sit a minute or two because you don't want to work with piping hot meat. So yeah, a minute or two. And at this time, we're going to throw in all our white rice. And you don't want to work with the hot meat because then the cheese is going to melt in there. That's true. That's true. The cheese will melt while it's cooking, but we don't want a goopy mess while we're working with it. Okay, so the white rice. We're going to throw in our tomatoes. And once again, make sure to drain your tomatoes. You don't want soupy stuffed peppers. And also cheese. Now, I'm using about a cup, a little more than a cup, so I'm going to reserve some of it because I'm going to put some on the top. And we'll give it a nice mix. Incorporate all the ingredients together, ready to stuff. I've given the meat, rice, and cheese, tomatoes a good mix, and now our peppers are ready to stuff. I've got them in a baking dish, with the parchment paper. You will notice in a lot of my videos, I use parchment paper a lot, and that's because it's so easy. It's an easy cleanup. I hate cleaning up. I'll be honest with you, love to cook, hate the cleanup. So parchment paper is my savior. So now we're ready to fill my peppers. So what you do is I'll take the one in the middle, the big one, and just fill it up. Make sure to fill to the top. You want it nice and full. You've got enough of the mix anyway, so nice and full. Place it back in on the baking sheet and put some cheese on. And I'll start filling the rest of these. And we've preheated the oven at 350, and we will have our peppers bake for about 30-35 minutes until the cheese is all melty and the peppers are nice and tender. So I'm gonna go ahead, fill the rest of my peppers, stick them in the oven, and we'll be back once my peppers are done cooking. So I've just taken my peppers out of the oven. It's been about 30 minutes. The cheese has melted and the peppers are nice and cooked. They're still a bit tender, but not overly. You want to make sure that they do cook. So 30 minutes is perfect time at 350. And guys, don't they look delicious? I love these stuffed peppers. They're my mom's stuffed peppers. So delicious. So I'm gonna let you guys go here because I'm hungry and I want to get one of these in me as soon as possible. Bon appetit to me. So I hope you like this. Thank you for watching Simply Delish Duo.